This is International Youth and Teenagers Empowerment Course.
Hello friends, my name is Nwankwo and I'll be taking you on self-awareness and self-esteem. Self-awareness is the conscious knowledge of one's own character and feelings. This means that you know yourself, you know your reactions to things, you know how you relate, you know how you interact with people. You are conscious of all of this. You know your reactions in every given situation. It's basically you understanding yourself. Now, there are two states of self-awareness: the public self-awareness and private self-awareness. Public self-awareness is how you appear to others. It also informs your behavior, your adherence to social norms, and behaving in a socially acceptable manner. And private self-awareness is your ability to notice your internal state. You know your feelings, why you feel the way you feel, why that is, basically answering all those questions. Private self-awareness also involves you being introspective. To introspect means the ability to look inwardly and realize and understand yourself, know why you feel the way you do and what those emotions are. You know how to identify them. Okay, at this particular point in time, what I'm feeling is anger, I'm feeling hurt, I'm feeling happy, excited, anxious, all of that. I'm going to go to why it's important for you to be self-aware. First off, people who are self-aware are happier and they have better relationships. When you meet a self-aware person, you also notice that they are rational. They know exactly why they feel how they feel. They know what it means to feel that way. They know why they can articulate themselves. It's important for you to be self-aware because you're able to be articulate. You're not, oh, I don't know, oh, I'm not sure. You don't hear I'm not sure a lot with them. They know exactly why they feel, why they feel that way and what made them feel that way. Also, someone who is self-aware, and the importance of being self-aware is that you have a sense of personal and social control, and they're happier at their jobs. They're happier whatever it is that they do. They're happy at it. They have a sense of fulfillment or satisfaction from doing what it is that they do. And then I'll be going to the benefits of being self-aware. Firstly, better decision makers. And someone who is self-aware makes better decisions. They are more self-confident. They communicate with clarity and intention. Like I said, clarity means that they are clear about what they want. They are clear about how they feel. There is no confusion as to how they are feeling or why they do what they do at every given point in time. Also, a self-aware person understands things from different perspectives. This is because they are able to take other opinions, they're able to take other perspectives into consideration. They don't have a one-track mind. And also another benefit is that they have a greater ability to regulate their emotions. This is because they already know what triggers them, what triggers a particular reaction from them, a particular feeling from them, and they're able to walk in line with that. How do you become more self-aware? You envision yourself. You have a picture of your best self. If you were to know your best self, what would that be? What does your best self look like? And then work with that. Play to your strengths. This means that just itemize your strengths. You can write it out. Okay, this is my strength in this area. I'm really good. I do really great at this. Itemize them and begin to pander more to your strengths than to your weaknesses. And in time, you see yourself becoming a better version. Ask the what questions. What is this I'm feeling? What is this emotion? Why is this happening? What elicits this kind of reaction from me? If you discover that there are some kind of reactions or feelings that you express at some point, ask yourself, what brings this out? What triggers this? And with that, you'll be able to, become more self-aware. Also, ask others their perception about you. Now, don't go about asking every random person, what do you think of me? What do you think of how I reacted? No. People who are around you, like your friends, your family, people who you know will be honest and candid and objective in exactly in these situations are the people who you should ask about this. Don't just go about asking just anybody about it. You know, when you see when some situations occur and you are maybe you're not able to objectively say why, or ask them why do I ask them about things, ask them these reactions, this at so and so point in time, what do you feel, what do you think? That way you'll be able to put things in perspective. It's not just coming from you, so you're able to have a balanced view of yourself. The final step to becoming more self-aware: keep a journal. I cannot recommend this more. I journal myself and it has helped me a lot. Journaling does a lot, but one of the things I would like to explain is that it helps you to recognize patterns you are not even aware of. So if you have a habit of being in some certain events, you discover that, okay, I'm painfully shy, or I'm anxious, or I get angry at social turns, you may not know, because you're on a journey to discovering yourself. But by the time you go back to your journal and you look at past events and your reaction and everything about that, detailed explanations about events and days in your life, you're able to realize a pattern that you didn't realize before. And so I'll be going right next into self-esteem.
This is International Youth and Teenagers Empowerment Course.
Self-esteem is confidence in your own worth and abilities. Self-esteem is basically about value and perception. How you value and perceive yourself. See, the thing is, nobody is going to have that esteem for you. You have to build it yourself. You have to do it yourself. And there are a lot of things that influence self-esteem. Your strengths, your weaknesses, your beliefs on the type of person you are, your expectations of your people, and a factor you cannot neglect is also that people around you, people in your life. This includes family, includes friends, even in the school, in your workplace, all of that. It has to do with that. Now I'm going to be going into the causes of low self-esteem. What causes people to feel so lowly of themselves? What makes them feel that way? One of those factors is an unhappy childhood. Individuals that grew up in an unhappy environment or with an unhappy childhood discover that they have a low self-esteem. It's very easy to tell who has a low self-esteem. But parents, teachers, authority figures basically, who were extremely critical of an individual, play a very important role in this. Because when a person constantly gets told no, they constantly get rebuffed, they constantly get turned down, it causes them to withdraw and think lowly of themselves, that perhaps they are not good enough, perhaps their ideas or how they deem fit to do things is not good enough. And so they begin to think lowly of themselves. They begin to think, okay, my opinion is not wanted, I'm not needed here, and so they withdraw. And that withdrawal is in almost everything. They begin to second guess themselves. Am I really doing the right thing? I don't know. There's a hesitation before they do anything they do. Bullying is also another unhappy childhood factor. When you look at children or individuals who experience bullying in childhood and who have not fully outgrown or worked on themselves, or been taught to, gone through therapy for that, you discover that they walk around with that low self-esteem. That aura is just all around them. Another cause of low self-esteem is ongoing stressful life situations, such as a relationship breakdown. And this is one of the reasons. A relationship breakdown is a major cause of low self-esteem in a lot of individuals, more individuals than you would think. I remember reading a book where a lady was in an abusive relationship, and it's important to note that sometimes this abuse is not even physical abuse. Emotional abuse is also a form of abuse, and it takes a toll on the abused partner in more ways than you can imagine. So back to my story. So this lady was in an abusive relationship, and for a long time she couldn't muster the courage to leave the relationship. While in this relationship, The guy constantly ridiculed her. There was nothing he didn't use to ridicule her. She was too slow. She was too thin. When she added a little weight, she was getting too fat. They always find something to talk down on about. And at some point, she was able to muster the courage to leave the relationship. Coming out of the relationship, and after a period of time, she thought, she was over it, she had gotten better and everything. And then on getting into another relationship, the insecurities from the past relationship started to show up in the form of low self-esteem. Her current partner couldn't understand why she thought so low of herself, and she realized at that point they had realized that this was an issue. It was a serious issue because compliments would be given to her, she would always downplay it or ridicule herself, basically shaming herself. And I just want to say that if you find yourself in a situation like this, in a relationship like this, perhaps it couldn't even be a relationship, it could be relationship with parents, with family relatives. This is the time to evaluate yourself, look inwards, introspect, and find out what exactly is happening. Identify your emotions, identify how it makes you feel, and take the necessary steps to getting better. Okay, so the next cause of low self-esteem is mental illness. And we have a broad spectrum of mental illnesses. We have anxiety disorder, we have depression. Depression is one major cause of low self-esteem. That feeling of not being enough, that feeling of being inadequate, that feeling that you can't help it. You see a lot of depressed people it's not uncommon, but it's quite rare to see someone dealing with depression who has a high self-esteem, has a high opinion of themselves. And this is something to consider. Anxiety disorders, people who suffer anxiety a lot, who it's nerve-wracking for them, you discover that also low self-esteem is one of the things they deal with. How can you tell a person with low self-esteem? They have negative feelings, lots of negative feelings. There's anxiety, there's fear, there's a lot of timidity, associated with their personality. People who suffer from low self-esteem, they have a fear of judgment. They fear judgment, like it's like everything's always on them. If you remember when we're talking about self-awareness, we talked about public self-awareness. That is one of, you can connect the dots. Someone, at the point of public self-awareness, when it becomes negative, it now becomes what? Self-consciousness. You are so conscious of what people will say or how people react to you that you stop being yourself. Basically, it happens a lot with people with low self-esteem as well. They stop being themselves. They're now constantly in fear of what others will say, and at some point they are not now unsure of themselves, and so in some way it translates to low self-esteem. Lack of self-care could range from basic grooming to even pampering yourself. People who have low self-esteem, since they feel there is really nothing about them, they don't take out the time to show themselves some love, groom themselves, take themselves out, give yourself a treat. All of that is neglected with people who have low self-esteem. Self-harming too, people who cut themselves, inflict pain on themselves, is another attribute. People who have low self-esteem behaviors, eating disorders and drug abuse, people who abuse drugs, trying to fill the void, fill that void of low self-esteem, not believing in themselves. Drug abuse is one of the ways they cope with that. Eating disorders, not eating or eating too much. All of that is part of it. Now, I'm going to be giving us tips on how to build our self-esteem, because you need to, if you don't have a healthy dose of self-esteem, this is a chance for you to do those things that will build self-esteem in you, do those things that will make you feel confident in yourself. Okay, so the first one is talk to yourself positively. I do this thing a lot, where every morning I wake up, and when I'm ready to get ready for my day, I look in the mirror and I affirm to myself that I'm beautiful, that I am worth it, that what I bring to the table is enough. You talk to yourself, affirm to yourself, say all those things you wish you were. Start speaking them, literally speak them into existence and watch them happen. That's the power of positive talk. So talk to yourself positively. Never talk down on yourself. Never tell yourself that you're not good enough. Never tell yourself that you're not worth it. Always speak positively. Secondly, don't compare yourself to others. Everybody is different. Individuals are unique. That is how we are created. We are created to be unique. We are created to be you. There's only one you in this entire universe. One you with the same genetic makeup, one you with the same characters, one you with the same talents and inbuilt abilities. And so you shouldn't compare yourself to others, because you are unique in your own way. You're special in your own way. So don't compare yourself to others, because it becomes unhealthy. When it's no longer, it's now competition, and really, who are you in competition with? Yourself. Also, acknowledge the positive. Acknowledge the positive in everything. Don't brush off compliments. You get complimented, you're beautiful. Thank you. You're handsome. Thank you. Don't brush off compliments. Don't say, oh, me. Oh, I love your hair. Oh, this hair. Just say one thing about it or the other. No. Don't brush off compliments. Accept it with a smile, with a happy energy. Don't dismiss your achievements. I say, I've read books where people with low self-esteem maybe are complimented on a presentation or something, and they say, oh, that it wasn't good enough. They just have something negative to say about themselves. I mean, any energy you give out that is not up to par, people are going to give you that same energy. So sometimes you may wonder, why are people maybe talking down on you? Maybe it's because you look down on yourself. That could be a reason. So don't brush off compliments. Acknowledge your achievements. I did this, I started this company, I started this business, I completed that course. Encourage yourself on that achievement and reward yourself for it. To give yourself a treat. You could go to the spa, you could eat some chocolates, you could have an extra serving of your favorite meal. All of that are ways of acknowledging your achievements and celebrating it as well. And the last step I have for you as a tip to building self-esteem is assertiveness. Communicate your feelings, your needs to others in a direct and polite manner. A lot of us are not very comfortable with some things people say to us or some treatments, but instead of speaking up, you swallow it, you take it in. Doing all of that over time can lead to low self-esteem. You just find yourself saying, is it necessary? Is it worth it? I don't need to. And you keep all of that bottled in. And I just want to say that it's unhealthy, and it's one of the contributing factors to having a low self-esteem. So maybe somebody says something to you that you don't like, something dismissive, rude, something degrading. You don't have to take that. State how you feel about it and why you don't want that to happen again to you. Just state it calmly and directly. Don't need to get all aggressive about it. Just say how you feel in a firm tone. I mean, at first, when you're doing all of this, when you're communicating how you feel, especially with people who are used to you being laid back, who are used to you, having that low self-esteem, just taking everything the world throws at you, they're going to question you. They're going to say, what's the problem? What's this problem? Why is it feeling so big? Or everything. But don't worry about that. Just do you. The world will adjust. So, my final charge to you is this. The road to self-awareness and self-esteem is a journey. As you move forward, ask yourself regularly, how will I get to be the best version of myself today? And hopefully, all I've explained and shared with you would be instrumental in doing that.
Thank you for watching SMESS. Stay tuned.